When did your military nickname become permanently stuck? Mine happened during my second week at Fort Bragg when I made the mistake of eating an entire case of MRE cheese spreads in one sitting. I was a private first class, fresh from basic training, trying to prove I could handle anything the Army threw at me. We just finished a brutal 15-mile ruck march and I was starving. Found this box of leftover MRE components in the supply tent. 24 packets of jalapeno cheese spread. Looked harmless enough. I figured cheese was cheese, right? Started eating them with crackers while my battle buddy Jake watched in horror. Dude, you're gonna regret that, he warned. But I was too hungry and too stubborn to listen. Kept going until every single packet was empty. Felt fine for about 2 hours. Then my stomach started making sounds like a dying walrus. By evening chow, I was doubled over in pain. Made it through dinner, but barely. That night was when things got really bad. I spent the entire night running between my bunk and the latrine, every 30 minutes without fail. The cheese had turned my digestive system into a ticking time bomb. Other guys in the barracks started timing my bathroom trips. Sergeant Davis found me passed out on the bathroom floor at 0400, dehydrated, exhausted, looking like I'd been hit by a truck. Had to be taken to the aid station for IV fluids. When I got back, everyone was calling me Cheese. Not creative, but it stuck immediately. Sergeant Davis made it official during morning formation. From now on, Private Miller will be known as Cheese. Apparently his tactical decision-making needs work. The nickname followed me everywhere. New duty assignments, different units, even different bases. Somehow, it always caught up. Drill sergeants would get my records and see notes about the MRE incident. 3 years later, I'm at Fort Campbell working communications when a new lieutenant arrives. First thing he says during our introduction is, "You must be the famous Cheese I've heard about." Word travels fast in the Army. The real problem started when I made Specialist. Someone in personnel had been putting Cheese on my official paperwork as a middle name. Not kidding. My promotion orders read Specialist Michael Cheese Miller. I tried getting it corrected but hit bureaucratic walls everywhere. The records clerk said it had been in my file so long, changing it would require a congressional inquiry. Easier to just leave it alone. Made Sergeant 2 years later. Same thing. Sergeant Michael Cheese Miller on every single document. Awards, evaluations, transfer orders. My parents were mortified when they saw my promotion ceremony photos. The breaking point came during my deployment to Iraq. We're at this forward operating base working with British forces. Their liaison officer is reviewing our personnel roster when he stops and stares. "Sergeant, is your actual legal middle name Cheese?" I had to explain the whole embarrassing story. Turns out the Brits thought it was hilarious. Started calling our entire unit the Cheese Brigade. Word got back to higher command. Colonel Williams called me into his office, trying not to laugh. "Son, I've seen some unusual names in 20 years of service, but this is a first. How exactly does someone officially become Cheese?" I explained the MRE incident, the paperwork errors, the bureaucratic nightmare of trying to fix it. He listened, nodding sympathetically. Then he did something unexpected. Pulled up my personnel file on his computer, started typing. "What's your actual middle name?" "Robert, sir, after my grandfather." 5 minutes later, he handed me a printed form. Corrected personnel record showing Sergeant Michael Robert Miller. No more Cheese anywhere in the system. 20 years I've been fighting this bureaucracy, he said. Sometimes you just need the right person with the right access to cut through the red tape. Consider it fixed. But here's the twist. When I got my discharge papers 3 months later, there was a handwritten note from the colonel attached. "While you'll officially retire as Sergeant Miller, the 3rd Infantry Division will always remember you as Cheese. Your MRE story has become required safety briefing material. Every new soldier learns about proper nutrition and the dangers of processed cheese consumption." Last month I got a package from Fort Bragg. Inside was a shadow box with my ribbons, a photo from my promotion ceremony, and a small plaque that read, "Sergeant Michael Cheese Miller, 2003-2009, survived 24 MRE cheese spreads and lived to tell about it." Apparently they're still using my story to teach new recruits about MRE safety. My legacy isn't heroic service or leadership excellence, it's being the cautionary tale about military processed cheese products.